Hey guys, welcome back to another serving of food for thought. We're going to jump right into the energy of the cards. Of course, if you are new to the channel, welcome. And join us as I prepare a bit of food for thought. So let's jump right into the energy here, Holy Spirit. What are the messages? What are the messages here for the collective energies? Seems like you may have become more independent, or you could be rejecting something from the past. Yeah. You feel like something wasn't suitable or someone just wasn't ready for you. And I feel like in so many ways, you just might be right. Yeah. Someone wants to revisit something with you, but they're not wanting to revisit the past. This is why many of you feel like they're just not ready to understand or even acknowledge something that needs to be acknowledged. I feel for many of you, you've been patient. Wow. Especially when you believed they were worth your time and energy, but I feel a lot about that has changed. Yeah, water energy here at the bottom of the deck. Someone definitely thinks about you often, but it's almost like they're not sure how to feel about you. They feel like you just gave up, or they just feel like giving up. There's a lot of emotion here, water energy here. Yeah. The fact that you are more focused on self, or even your stability, or even your sanity, that's causing them to think about some things that they don't want to think about. This is why there's a lot of emotion here. In fact, this is someone who is not wanting to admit how much it hurts. This could also be a bit of crybaby energy here, putting on a front in front of other people, but having a lot of emotion behind the scenes. A lot of water energy here. Water energy could also be connected to Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. For others, this is just a very emotional energy, but not really wanting you to know how they truly feel. They feel like it would make them feel weak or vulnerable, but I feel it's everything that is needed to even try to fix this situation. But for many of you, you have given up on hope. And others, you're hopeful, but you also know they need to grow. I feel this is someone who has a lot of water emotions because they're ashamed that they can't get you off their mind, knowing you are a perfect fit. Someone wants to call a truce. Someone wants to put the past in the past. They know they misjudged you, but they're also very intimidated, ashamed because they're intimidated. Earth energy is coming out in the reverse. Someone doesn't want you to become more grounded without them. They're very intimidated by something about you, whether that is your true character or how you're able to present self. But whatever it is, someone is wanting to let something go. Call a truce. Put the past behind you, but something needs to be revealed or acknowledged before even attempting so. And others, you want to wash your hands of this. I feel this is another reason why they could be ashamed, feeling some type of way about how they believe you feel about them, but I feel you are not so consumed as they may think. Ashamed of what's taken over them, the person that they have become. They have yet to ground themselves towards Virgo, Capricorn. I feel this is someone who has yet to ground themselves because they're ashamed of who they've become, and they're somewhat intimidated by you as well as the cycles, karma, lessons that need to be learned. But instead, this energy is pretending like something is not affecting them. They seem to be still wearing a mask, yet still holding on. It's almost like this is someone who feels they can't let some things go, almost holding on to it to hold it against you. But I feel this is someone who projects a lot because they're taking a lot of things to the grave. They're not talking about it, no matter how you press them or what they lose behind it. This is someone who is taking it all to the grave when it comes to serial cheating or the cycles that they have created, not being able to ground themselves. I feel this is someone who is also somewhat of a serial cheater, a serial liar. Please take it how it resonates. But I feel this is someone who knows that you just might not hear them out. They're wanting to plead their case, but I feel it's full of lies. You know, someone's still needing to grow up a little. Understand that life isn't a game, but I feel something is already taking place. Something is already in play that's going to get them to see life in a different way. And for some of you, it just might be too late. Because someone still has some growing to do. Yet, right now, they're coming out as a used car salesman. Selling junk for a little of nothing. Lying because it's just what they are used to. I feel this is someone who may have gotten themselves in a very sticky situation, especially when it comes to their financial failures. This is someone who wants to come in hot, but also coming out as Houdini, because something is always being left in the air, unclear, wanting to chase the situation or wanting to be chased. I feel it almost feels like a trick. A trick that many of you are no longer falling for. I feel there's a lot of things left up in the air here with the air card. This could also represent Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. I also see some Virgo energy here, Leo energy here. Please take it how it resonates, but something's getting real awkward, especially when it comes to their environment. Yeah, someone didn't think things would turn out in this way. There's heart issues or someone feeling something in a different way than usual. Thought that they were coasting, going with the flow, taking the path of least resistance. I feel this is someone who avoided a lot of things when it comes to life. Now something is very strange and awkward when it comes to a very sticky situation. I feel this energy wanted things their way, and now a bomb has been dropped on them. There's a major shakeup when it comes to what's going on there in their life, their environment, especially their finances. Something really big is about to happen. I feel something big has been dropped in their lap, and they're barely hanging on. But I also feel they've created this storm, because little did they know, you just might be their weakness. I feel things are starting to get awkward. No one's really listening, especially when it comes to something that has been left up in the air. I also see a Gemini energy here. Wow. Someone really thought that they were getting away with something, but now that they are trying to even forget the fact that they misjudged you, they're kind of holding on to some lies as well. Holding on to things they didn't expect to lose. Wow. Not realizing how lost they truly are. Someone didn't realize you were their weakness. This is why they're sitting in a space where they don't know whether to love or resent you, which is why you're living rent-free in their head. As this is someone you haven't spoken to in a while, or there's a strong disconnect mentally and emotionally, because they don't want to acknowledge that you're justified in the way you feel, yet trying to justify their lies and their actions by trying to be faked or some type of victim. They've lost out big with you. Wow. I feel them being fake has only caused them to run out of time, as many of you have already run out of patience. One more card here from this deck. Yeah. Many of you feel like they are always pulling some type of stunt. One minute they're in and the next minute they're out. One minute it seems they're trying to change or give their all, but some things become emotional. Yeah. This is someone who is always up in the air, not really giving any type of solid foundation. Let's get another deck out here. We're going to extend this one, since a lot of the videos have been a bit small. So I'm going to do a little bit more on this reading. Dig a little deeper, I guess. Holy Spirit, whatever. Yeah. So it seems like this is someone who has yet to find a new perspective when it comes to their dishonest ways, their trickery. I feel it has nothing to do with you, but a lot to do with their inner child wounds. Yeah. This is someone who has a lot going on where they're trying not to tap into the hurt and the pain emotionally. And for others, this is someone who has just been lost in this side of self for so long. It's so hard to change. But without the change, I don't really see much progress. For many of you, this is someone who lacks when it comes to loyalty, and even going a little deeper when it comes to the regret, the guilt, the betrayal. Yet something is happening in divine timing, especially when it comes to them searching their soul or trying to go a little deeper when it comes to living better, living right. But they almost feel entitled to be the way that they are. This is why there is some type of separation due to the betrayal. The fact that someone is always running away, I feel many of you had to cut the cord. And I feel as soon as you did, some things just start making more sense. Yeah. I feel this is someone you have to sever ties with because there is no compromise. There's too much fear when it comes to them being vulnerable, open, transparent. But even though they know they haven't been honest with you, they're still holding on. Because they do feel in some way you're a soulmate and you'll come back around. They're reminiscing. Wow. Wanting to come back together, but not really realizing how dishonest they truly were. This energy is coming out as mischievous. You can never truly rely on their motive. Why? And I feel in so many ways if they did decide to come back right now, you would question their motives. Because they were always negligent in so many ways. But I feel the fact that they were negligent is because they lacked in strength. They were just too prideful. Too prideful to understand, too prideful to change or even see your side of things. This is why things have drastically fallen apart. And someone could be living in fear because they refuse to compromise. I feel without compromise, there will be no change in some type of separation, whether that be mentally, emotionally, physically. Please take it how it resonates. Many of you may have cut the cord for good, and others you just had to cut the umbilical cord here because this energy was just too codependent, draining you for all your worth. Yeah. This energy is going through a real realization, and whether that is the fact that they're needing to grow up or someone truly misjudged you, I feel whatever it is very heavy. And it just might involve other people they thought they could trust. Yeah, because they were looking for the fame, they were looking for the attention. They made some choices that are now catching up to them. Yeah. Something is being illuminated when it comes to someone and their bad behaviors, especially when it comes to relationships, commitments, things that they should have more standard and loyalty to. I feel there's about to be some type of confession that's attached to someone dropping a bomb on them. Yeah, something that they are wanting to escape. For some of you, they need an intervention. I feel this is not coming from your end. I feel if this person had the balls to come your way, it will be of their own intention. But I feel there will be a third party that puts them in their place or causes them to realize what they truly lost. I feel this will be something they have to live with for life if they never get it right. Because you're in a space of healing. Your energy is definitely changing. And whether you're in a space where you're undecided or not, you're almost numb to any type of apology that they could ever give. You're almost detached, all because you're no longer wanting to be around or amongst the deception, the lies, the betrayal, which is almost constant. Wow. I feel you're doing something intentionally to balance, recalculate your life. This is a fresh start. You're in a dream state, deep thinking, self-love, because you know you love unconditionally. Yeah. However, there's still no clarity. No clarity when it comes to someone who chooses to procrastinate. There's a lot of guilt here. This is someone who doesn't want to feel the guilt of their betrayals. They know they went too far, but they also feel something just doesn't seem right after so much time has passed, so much that they refuse to reveal. However, whether they are eager to come your way or not, something is still being illuminated. And whether they want to feel that guilt or not, they will, if they're not already in that space. I feel this energy is on and off at too many points in life, and many of you are just looking for more, waiting for your ships to come in. I feel this is someone who really screws some things up with you, and this is something that they will look back on and really realize how much damage they truly caused, especially when it comes to others as well as their own life. As this is someone who seems to be deeply affected, but I don't feel there's a lot of change. I feel this energy does believe that they've done the shadow work. They've gone through some type of spiritual growth, but I feel something is about to be dropped in their lap, and they're going to realize how broken they truly are. Yeah, broken and immature. There's an immaturity and lack of integrity when it comes to this energy, especially when it comes to their choices. This is why many of you had to cut ties, allow someone to learn the hard way. Yeah, you're coming out as someone who nurtured a foundation or a situation that is now being wanted at this time, wanting more, but there's no justice. I feel there's no justice due to the people around them. The people and the things that they choose to influence them. So I feel this energy is now trying to resist something because they lack when it comes to courage, self-esteem. Yeah. Trying to be hard about a situation. However, something is about to take place in divine timing. I feel something's about to take place in divine timing when it comes to someone who is detached from a connection that they truly want. I feel they may have taken a leap in the wrong direction due to their denial. Pushing things away that is meant for them to grow, understand their self and their needs more. Yet this energy seems to be blindfolded by their codependent ways on the wrong things and people. Yeah. Not seeing their regrets, their guilt, not wanting to tap into the pain of it. This is someone who has been misguided by falsehoods, lies. This is what's connected to the dropping of the bomb as well. Not able to communicate because of the secrets that they're trying to keep or the nightmare that they're now living. I feel this energy is holding back a lot of anger. This energy is angry because you have tapped into your intuition or you're seeing things from a different perspective. I feel this is someone who is going through a lot of lessons right now. All because they were too immature to just get it right. Many of you already know what you're going to get when it comes to this energy, and as I said before, others you have hope, but it's fading, as this is someone that is affected but not wanting to admit it, not wanting to admit how restricted their life has become. It's almost like they're refusing to feel what their heart already knows, that they're almost obsessed with not feeling anything because they know you're not invested like you used to be. I feel that is all because this energy was too immature to see what was right in front of them. Now it's time to gain a new view of life, and they're just gonna have to go through the pain, the sweat, and the tears to get through it. This is something that they were not expecting. They didn't expect some type of blowback, but they're also getting some heat from third-party energies. This could be family, friends. This could be frenemies, people that are close and not really meant to have any good in their life. They're really causing some chaos, and don't get me wrong, they're joining into the toxic behaviors, but they're not seeing something that is going to hit them hard. This is really going to affect their life in a very big way. And the fact that you're no longer invested the way that you used to be, they're feeling more entitled to be as rebellious as they are. Wow. I feel this is someone you try to help in so many ways. This is why they're still holding on, but the fact that they don't want to be vulnerable to someone who soothes their soul, they become more isolated. I feel this is just a moment in time where they're about to surrender. And it just might be a situation where they were not ready to change, but I feel whatever's coming their way is going to be a big part of it, because they're about to do some shadow work. And trust me, that is not an easy journey. I feel this is someone who's just not realizing you have every reason to doubt their loyalty, their credibility. They seem to be getting deeper into false ways of thinking, but as I said before, there's going to be something that shakes things up here. I feel they're also doing some things to alleviate the pain, alleviate the guilt, the shame that they keep or hold on to. It's just not going anywhere. It's not meant to go anywhere. They're just meant to deal with it. And the more they are pushed to do so, the more they end up trying to appear like they're unfazed. Let's get another deck out here. Of course, if you guys are enjoying the reading, please let me know by commenting down below or liking this video. I feel like this is someone who knows that you have every reason to feel the way you do. They seem to be getting deeper in false ways of thinking in an attempt to alleviate what they're going through, not truly realizing they're making things worse. Wow. As it seems they may have tricked themselves out of position with you because they can't acknowledge or deal with the pain. The fact that they have yet to learn any lessons or even mature about anything, they're just hard to deal with due to their biased ways and some type of delusion and acting out. Yeah. This is someone who is not just used to going against the grain and being rebellious. They have some temper issues, whether it's them crying out for help or wanting the attention. It's become a part of the burden, a part of the pain. Yeah, guilty pleasures, instant gratification. This is what's causing things to feel a little different. Yeah, competition, a love affair, unchanged energy. This is also someone who likes to be doted on. They like for others to want to fix them. Yeah, believing opposites attract in some type of way, but it also becomes a living nightmare. Yeah, unsent messages. So this is someone who has tried. They have tried to reach out to you, but end up erasing the message or not going through with something, popping up or just not knocking at your door, or driving by or seeing you from afar but not coming up to you. I feel this is creating a lot of baggage for them because they're not giving into what their heart already feels or knows, because I feel they're just not ready mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And I also feel there is someone in their ear, they've heard something or they've said something, and it has them isolated. This is connected to this bomb that is dropped, something that has been said or done to them, and it's got them in their head. Not wanting you to know how bad things have gotten. They don't realize things are about to be exposed anyways, whether they like it or not. This is why someone is isolated, thinking about what's been said, what's been heard, or someone's definitely in their ear trying to make it seem more worse than it is. I feel this is someone who is somewhat unresponsive, refusing to communicate, even though they know it's what they should do. I feel there's some underlying issues connected to what they've heard, or even this isolation. The fact that everyone is seeing them as a liar, something is coming out and it's big. Yeah, someone's in too deep, and it's all connected to them being a liar. The lies are exposed. I feel this is someone who is refusing to answer any questions because they know they're wrong. I feel they're also going through some type of identity crisis. Someone's just too old for this. They may have cursed themselves. Wow. by allowing others to put a key in their bag, control them, control what they think or what they said. I feel someone regrets ever allowing someone to change their mind about you. Refusing treatment, prolonging the pain. This is someone who has now become a bit bitter or even mechanical when it comes to their emotions. This could also be your energy as well. Please take it how it resonates, but their bitter behaviors or them lashing out at others or just being rebellious and mischievous has become a burden for them and everyone around them. Something has come out in a very big way. Someone has exposed them or they feel exposed. But whatever it is, it almost feels like judgment and some type of separation. Wow. Hot and cold energy. They feel burnt out because they were on a mission to be seen. Were on a mission to do things their way, but only was led like a sheep. Someone followed the crowd, and now they don't understand how deep the rabbit hole has gone. Yeah, this is why someone is acting strange, lashing out. They're doing the most. I don't know what they're doing, but it can get them locked up.
Food for thought, 313.
Yeah, underlying issues, wanting to send a message. Maybe someone tried to call you from a different phone than what you're used to seeing. Someone has reached out or tried to. Didn't have the courage to say something when you picked up. Didn't have the courage to knock at your door when they popped up. I feel this is someone who is ashamed in so many ways. The pain, the dishonesty to self and everyone else is starting to get to them. This is why they're crashing out, doing things that they don't normally do. Yeah. This is someone who also feels like you're doing something on purpose, like you're trying to control them or affect them with your silence. Or the fact that you're not crashing out over them is causing them to do the most. This is a crash out that's never been seen before. This is things that they used to do that they picked up again. I don't know what this is. But whatever's going on in their environment, these arguments and disagreements, it's more intense. Love affair is up in the reverse. These connections and relationships, something is becoming more intense. And whatever they thought they had, it seems like it's fading away. They almost blame everyone else for their broken heart or their dysfunction, but in the same breath, wishing things could be the way it used to be. Someone is wishing things were the way it was before you realize they would never change or never see things any other way than they see it. In fact, this is someone who will only adjust to impress or keep things confusing, keep people guessing, but it's only hurting them in the end, as they may be a person of many words or little words, but never a person of their word. And this is why many of you look at them the way that they do. They just cannot be trusted. This is someone who kind of feels like you should put them on a pedestal. This is why they feel like you should not be in the energy that you're in. Let the past be the past, or accept them the way that they are, but their actions are just too much. Refusing to change, refusing the help. Wow, someone has overindulged and it's become excessive. Someone's isolated and in too deep, especially when it comes to finances. Someone has become hot and cold, burnt out, numbing the pain, and allowing others to get the best of them. This is why someone is coming out as bitter and not wanting to answer any questions. So this is coming out for the second time. People controlling them or them trying to control others, and they're bitter about some type of outcome. They're trying to numb the pain and they're refusing to answer questions that others are asking because they know the outcome. Someone thought that they were just too big to fail, especially when it comes to the smoke and mirrors. Someone thought that they would always have you in their corner, hostage in some way. Now you're living rent free in their head, in their mind. Smooth talker energy here. Sometimes they're in the energy of playing the victim. Most of the times they're in that energy because they thought something was too big to fail, especially when it comes to their motives, their intentions. And now they seem to be salty, bitter, angry, agitated because they couldn't talk their way out of this. Someone can talk their way out of this situation, and things are definitely out of hand or going left real quick. Someone feels some type of way, they're angry or salty because you no longer feel safe in their hands, but you have every reason to feel the way that you do. Because this energy is always strategizing, or they could be in the energy of strategizing, but there are some underlying issues here when it comes to someone who has a lot of scare tactics. They could play the victim for some type of sympathy, or they're a smooth talker and they believe that you should just give in to them. But whatever the case, they're wanting to intimidate you in some way, wanting to make you feel like you're missing out, but the fact that they feel they could lose you and you could move on. They're wanting to put you in a light of you just abandoning them, giving up. But I feel that was never the case. I feel you gave so many times. You gave them so many chances to make something right, make something make sense. But this energy just couldn't do the right thing. It's almost like they were hypnotized by the choices and their immature ways. Even having a civil conversation with them is almost too much to ask for. Wow. Triggered. So I feel this is someone who is becoming triggered, abusive, agitated, because they can't escape this. They can't find their way out of this. They can't run away from this problem. In fact, they're almost seeming to feel like they're being singled out or someone is bulldozing their life. This is what's causing someone to be triggered. I feel there's a third party energy that's laying it on thick, and whether they're supporting you in some way or just really calling it like they see it, someone doesn't seem to be handling the truth very well. Because whatever's being said is the truth, no chaser. Wow. I feel this is someone who is very naive when it comes to toxic love and even their finances, but something has reached its peak, and whatever it is, they can't escape. Wow. Because it's now a long-term investment. It's almost affecting their mental space because they got finessed. Wow. Someone got finessed in some type of thirst trap or scam. There's deceit. Someone's been lying to them too.
Food for thought.
They want to cut ties, but their finances are blocked. They have very little to give. Wow. And it just might be poetic justice for what they've been trying to avoid. Someone's been trying to deny the truth, not see the truth, and it's everything that's in their face right now for their lack of change and even their sense of stability. This is definitely something that has been on the books for a while. It's almost like they've just been dodging a bullet this whole time. This is why someone was so entitled or even confident in what they believe belonged to them. This is why they always thought you would come back soon. Or just forgive and forget. But something's different. So much different about you right now. As I said before, they purposely feel like you're doing something on purpose to hurt them or make them feel some type of way, but it's them who's making something awkward. Yeah. I feel this is someone who is definitely going too hard with something so sensitive. It's almost like they don't fully understand what they could lose for their toxic ways. But I feel like in so many ways, the shoe's on the other foot. Bait and switch. There's a lot of changes going on, especially in your life as well. What they drained you of is now being given back tenfold. This is why someone is now realizing what could have been had with you. But instead, they're holding on to something. They feel like people set them up to fail. this is not just regarding you, but they're also blaming others. They're holding a grudge. Yeah. Someone's holding a grudge, but I feel it's a bait and switch because they were sidetracked by their childish ways or the fact that they were starving for attention. But I feel this is someone who has become easily bothered by the public attention that they've been getting. They feel like too many people know too much, and they're insecure about that. Insecure about what others may be saying or what others may know. But I feel someone's just wasting time being cryptic because they're already caught out there. Mouthful of lies, someone is learning some valuable lessons, and it won't be easy because they're easily distracted. Someone feels like you should just make things easy for them. Someone feels like they should be on easy street due to the history of the relationship they had with you or the love they feel that is still connected. But they are also holding on to some things that keep them caught up. As I said before, it's almost like they feel like others set them up to fail, but they're the ones who's just not doing the shadow work. But whatever the case, whether they're holding something back, holding something in, or they have something under their sleeve, something is about to hit hard, and they'll have no choice but to endure or try to get through this intense shadow work. I feel this is someone who feels you should just settle, but they're about to understand and learn in a real way that you may want them, but you clearly don't need them. I feel whether they are stringing something along or not, something is about to hit the brakes. Wow. Will definitely leave you instantly gratified in the end. I feel this is someone who believes they have another trick up their sleeve. Like they know how to reel you in, but I feel this is someone who knows nothing about you clearly. Because if they did, they would have never lost you. Lost you in the way that your heart can barely go out to them. I feel many of you, your heart's so big that you do find space to pray for them and their well-being. But I feel this is someone who will have to do something with intention to find their way. Let's get some more energy here from this deck. Yeah, someone's definitely caught out there, especially mentally, emotionally, financially. This energy is lost. And spiritually, they have yet to be awoken. Aiding and abetting. So there are energies around them that keep them in a space where they feel like they're in the right. It's almost like someone is leading them astray. Saying things that keep them lost. Keep them feeling like they are the ones who are right. This is why someone is dragging their feet when it comes to something that they know is credible. Yeah, someone needs to watch what they say, watch what they do. I feel like you trusting your intuition is definitely making something much harder for them. Someone was hoping you were weak behind them, but I don't feel you're going to be the one to bring this back to life. I don't see that. I feel you're trusting your intuition, and many of you are already cautious. For some of you, I feel like there's a serious caution when it comes to this energy because they do have a mob-like mentality, and everything they touch, it just ends up going in flames. It seems this energy brings chaos wherever they go because of their needs, their wants. Wow. So for some of you, there's caution because of their mob-like ways and the fact that they can become belligerent. I feel they've gone through a lot, and it's almost like they're not the same person that left your doorstep or thought they left you behind, but I feel the peace that you have gained in return has definitely become a trigger for them. Yeah. I feel someone is belligerent at times. This is why the fights, the disagreements that they're having with others is getting so intense. They're hiding from the pain and lashing out at others, and it's just making things like a boiling pot. And someone's definitely skating on thin ice. I feel this energy taps into this nice guy persona, nice girl persona, whatever it is. Please take it how it resonates. But I feel they're laying it on thick. not realizing the fact that they are sugarcoating things is not going to help. It's just going to crash and burn. I feel this energy is already going through the motions of something very intense, shaking them up. And it just might be for good. Because this energy has been oversharing, not realizing people are laughing behind their back. In fact, they're being singled out, publicly embarrassed, shamed. This energy was oversharing, thinking that they were not going to be condemned by the things that they said. But I feel this energy hasn't changed at all, and others can see that they are an imposter. But they're going to learn quicker than sooner that karma's a bitch, and they should have never stepped on your toes. They should have never not taken life seriously, because things are definitely coming back to haunt them, and they won't be leaving their current situation the same way they came in. I feel this energy is emotionally unstable, unavailable, unawoken to the needs of others, but require a lot. This is someone who needs to be put on a pedestal or priority, as they truly want to believe it's everyone else, but this is someone who is about to get checked in a real big way, because karma is definitely on their head. I feel this energy never thought that things would flip on a dime or turn out like this, but someone's about to realize something in a very big way, especially when it comes to their lustful ways, always wanting more. They're just dying inside. This energy is coming out as empty, and this is why many of you are so over it. You're so over it when it comes to someone who is always playing the victim. But I feel in this current situation, something is burning them up. Ooh, hot. Or someone feels betrayed in a big way. But I feel it's just the same energy that they've been putting out. It's almost like whatever they've been putting out is now coming back tenfold. And they're feeling attacked. When they were hoping you and everyone else would just rise above it. But seeing you focus in on self is just having them throw more shade. I feel this energy wants to escape the flames, escape this fire that they've created for themselves, but there are still influences surrounding them, whether it's addictions, people, things that really don't matter. Someone is hiding in the shadows and guiding or guarding their heart. I feel this energy is coming out with a guarded heart, because they have yet to seek any type of transformation, any truth, find any type of forgiveness for who they've become and who they are. I feel this is someone who is lacking when it comes to ascending, and this is what's truly blacking their mental and their heart. I feel this is someone who's trying to block something out, but nothing else compares, or this energy can't do any better than what they had with you, and this is why they're going deeper down the rabbit hole. I feel this is someone who is failing to see between the lines, or they're just refusing to do so. I feel the chances that you have given are definitely running out, or has already run its course. I feel this energy needs to read between the lines when it comes to hidden dangers, things that they choose to give into.
Food for thought,
Because when it comes to whatever illusion that they have tapped into, a fantasy, it's coming down. It's coming down harshly. Yeah. I feel this is someone who didn't really understand it and didn't want to at the time, especially when they thought they were winning. But I feel something has come down on them so hard that they won't be able to focus on anything else. Yet due to their false reality that is slipping, something is just bound to change, whether they want it to or not. It's almost like they're waiting on a sign, waiting for someone else to do it. This is why they're stuck in the past and holding a grudge. Numbing out the world, shutting everyone and everything out that really matters. I feel this energy is going through a karmic cycle that will not only shake things up, but also snap them back into reality. A reality that they've been refusing to see for so long because they've been numbing out the world and shutting everything out due to a fantasy or some type of illusion. I feel something is coming to light and it's attached to hidden dangers, things that they refuse to see or even acknowledge because they don't want to see between the lines. But I feel there's going to be a kickstart. Something's going to really get things kicking, especially when it comes to them realizing in a deep way that what they had with you would never be found again. It was rare. It was rare. It was real. And them putting on some type of performance will get them nowhere. I feel this energy is putting on a performance of a lifetime, especially when it comes to a community ties, karmic cycles, not realizing they are playing a losing game. Someone's going to find this out in a very disturbing way. I feel they're going to hit rock bottom, and whatever this is going to shake them up emotionally. They're already lashing out and doing the worst of things right now, but I feel something is about to shake things up in a way that they never expected. This could be connected to big losses that affect their life, or this could also be connected to their health where they feel they're losing life. Whatever the case, I feel something is about to get them in a space where they understand where they need to be seeking some type of change, some type of forgiveness, because this false way of thinking or even this false persona is just creating more karmic influences, karmic cycles. I feel whatever they're about to go through will definitely have them praying, hoping for change, praying for a way out, because they're going to be in a space where they wish they were never in a space where they had to fit in. I feel this is someone who's trying to fit in, and now they're trying to figure out a way to get out. Because there will be a true understanding when it comes to someone who pretended to never understand at all. They got it. Now, they're in a space where they're truly getting it. Because whatever they didn't want to see before will be something they can't stop thinking about. I feel this is someone who never thought that things would end this way or feel this way, but as I said before, due to the changes that they're going through or this false reality starting to slip, it's changing a lot. Wow, this is someone who's going through so much, baiting and switching, trying to find the exit, but there is no exit, just exposure. Let's get a final deck out here. Oh, there's a couple of cards here. So someone's going through it because of the wicked ways. That's what's here on the card. Spiteful, wicked ways. Someone cursed themselves by being dramatic and childish, immature, naive, irresponsible, being a wrecking ball in others' lives. They're now experiencing the same. Yeah. Predator energy here. I feel this is someone who was trying to prey on others, especially when they felt like you were weaker when it comes to lashing out and doing the most. I feel this is someone who was somewhat conniving when it comes to getting away with what they were doing. Abusive, moody, defensive, ungrateful, indecisive, and very superficial. This is what makes this energy so heartless. In fact, I feel this is someone who is somewhat spoiled to their way of thinking, their way of being, and this is why things always seem to get abusive with their words, their actions. The way they choose to handle things, I feel in a big way, they have allowed you to slip away just because of who they have become or who they showed up as. Wow, Jekyll and Hyde energy here. They're one way 1 minute, and the next minute they're out of control. This is why them losing control and being rebellious and lashing out at others has become so much of a thing that they do. I feel this is just not something you're willing to put up with, and this is why they're wanting to lash out at you. Besides, it seems like they're always trying to find a reason to be spiteful. Make things seem like it's your fault. even making small things a big deal because right or wrong, they believe you should just give in and make coming back together the focus, when truly they need to get this right. They need to acknowledge how it all fell apart, how things became so much of a nightmare because they had no self-control, or they just were too prideful to admit that they are a narcissist. Because this energy is coming out with an absence when it comes to healthy choices, healthy habits. I feel this is someone who has no self-control because they're coming out as unstable, out of balance, overreacting, being irrational. I feel this is someone who gives in to their impulse. This is why they're always hasty or justifying, excusing it, and blaming because they refuse to release their stubborn ways. This is someone who's coming out as headstrong. They believe it's a sign of being dominant, but it's a true sign of their weakness because they're coming out as someone who's hiding something, a liar, someone who is rebellious and gives zero fucks about anything and anyone. But when it comes to your energy, that's when things change. This is a big change, a change that they will never forget. As I said before, they're emotionally unavailable and antisocial, sitting in a sense of fear and phobias, and for some of you, hatred, because they're detached from their regrets, almost dismissive, avoiding the disdain, offensive, because they're projecting. This energy sees themselves as the victim, and as long as they see themselves as the victim, they will always manipulate. Being the victim, this is someone who will always seem to burn everything to ashes. I feel the fact that they are playing victim in a situation that they're in right now is why things are getting so explosive. This is a flame that they won't be able to avoid. They're always used to being dismissive and placing the blame on someone else. In fact, they're looking for the opportunity. This energy is coming out as an opportunist because they're afraid to be vulnerable, sensitive to the emotions that they know they feel. So they continue to be toxic. I feel this energy is attached to unhealthy habits, harsh tendencies, and chaos because they are affected and not wanting to admit to it. They're just not being logical. But trust me, soon they will be humbled. I hope you guys have enjoyed this reading and has gained some food for thought. If so, let me know by commenting down below or liking this video. Hope to see you again, guys. Bye.